1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines.
Now boarding.
Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
You've got used to one segment of Good Takes in the morning, but now there's a full show of Good Takes at night. Welcome into Raff's Good Take on Sports on 93.7 The Ticket.
Welcome in to Raff's Good Take on Sports, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. We got the man of the hour, Chris Raff, joining us. You guys can join us via the Starter Heyman text line, 404-645-6685. Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo Channel 961. Chris Raff, how's it going on a beautiful January 7th?
Going pretty good. Got up to 70 degrees here, so life is good with the weather, celebrating 6 months of wedded bliss today. So I made it through 6 months. I'm halfway to a year. So, hey, what can I say? Everything is dandy.
I'm glad you made it through 6 months. I think that's the real trial right there. No, I'm just kidding. Congratulations. That's awesome. How beautiful is the weather down there in Alabama? It's been awesome in Lincoln. The high is 62, I think. I'm wearing shorts.
Yeah, it's been perfect down here. The only thing this morning, there was a thick fog until probably 10:30, 11 o'clock this morning. So that was weird. Alabama is very strange sometimes. Like it'll get up to like 65, 70 degrees. It'll look really cloudy and gloomy, like it's going to start snowing, which I know that's not true. And then on the days where it's sunny and looks like it's just perfect outside, it's like 30 degrees. They just got to match up what it looks like. Just the clear sunshine for the 70-degree days, and then the gloomy, hazy for the 30-degree days. And then everything will be perfect.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. I've always just thought I'm not the best when it comes to weather and geography. I always thought Alabama was just always warm. Like, yeah, maybe it gets cold, but like rarely ever freezing. I thought you guys just had beautiful winters where it's like, yeah, it's cold, but it's not going to get below 30 anytime soon.
Well, ever since they've been retired, things haven't been the same down here. So
yeah,
it snowed here once or twice last year, but I don't know if it's going to snow down here this year or not. It's look, the chances are slim, I think, but we'll see. I guess we're expecting a bunch of rain this weekend. So there's like a huge weather advisory for rain. So that'll be interesting. So hopefully it stays warm so it doesn't freeze, because one thing I've learned about Alabama is if it is freezing or if there's snow, it shuts down the city for like 2-3 days. It's pretty wild down here once the road conditions get bad.
Oh, people just shut down. I'll never forget. This would have been, I'm going to just throw out a number. I could be wrong. 2020, 2021. If anybody remembers when like Texas got snow and it froze, our company, I worked at CIP at the time. We got a lot of paint from this, pretty much all our paint from this warehouse down there in Texas, and it wasn't just us. There's a ton of places all across the U.S. and they don't have heaters, so all that paint froze, and there was a massive, massive paint shortage, and it was brutal. We had to repaint all these apartments a different color because the paint was ran out, and it was just a nightmare of a situation. And I just remember all those stories coming out of Texas and how big of a dumpster fire and how much of money they had to put in to get everything back and operating again, all because it got under freezing for like one day. And it just cost the city millions and millions and millions, the state millions and millions.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Well, if it snows like in Alabama or Texas, there's no road crews. Like they don't have, the blades and stuff like that to take out on the streets. So they're basically at the mercy of the weather. One year I was driving through Dallas going to the Alamo Bowl that Nebraska thumped Northwestern. It was a pretty big blowout. And there was a blizzard in Dallas. And I was driving down the interstate and cars were just sliding off the interstate because they're not used to driving in that kind of weather. So it was quite the sight. But yeah, it's definitely like Alabama's the same way. If it snows here, you're looking at 2 or 3 days before you get back out on the roads, just because there's just no road crews that deal with the snow. They basically are like, nope. So you just got to wait for the sun to come out.
Yeah, I get anxious when we get that first really mean snow in Lincoln. And because you're getting some people that just don't know what it is, and then they don't know what they're doing. And every now and then I can understand it, but sometimes I just see people being I want to say deliberately stupid, but I know they probably don't mean to wreck their car, but it always makes me nervous. Like I got to be on extra watch when I'm driving on some of these times when there's school in session and there's ice on the road, because you always see that one person that especially when you're ahead of them and you see them kind of riding you and they're too close and they're going too fast. Drives me crazy. So if you're listening to me, just a PSA, when that first snow comes, I don't care if you drive the ultimate snow driving car, just don't drive like a knucklehead.
Yeah.
And then you won't wreck your car and you won't wreck mine either. All right.
That's one thing I've learned down here in Alabama is the drivers down here. So when I first came to Alabama, it's been like 26 years ago. Every single car in Alabama had, well, maybe a little bit less than every single one, but close to everyone had an Intimidator number 3, Dale Earnhardt Sr. plate tag on the front of their plates. And I think that his way of driving, the aggressive, if you're not rubbing, it's not racing. I'm telling you what, down here, the drivers are insane when it comes to like letting people into lanes, turning, it's incredible. I've never been around I have to say it, they are rude drivers. I mean, they are rude. Like they will speed up. Like if you're trying to get in the lane in front of them, they'll speed up. If you slow down to go behind them, they'll slow down. I mean, it's just like they resist having you get into their lane. It's crazy. I mean, when it first happened, I was like, okay, that's just a one-off. But now that it's been going for like 6 months now, it's like you got to go out, you got to be aggressive, or else you're not going to get into a lane here.
Really, they're that mean? I figured Alabama would be kind of nice.
That's what I thought too. But they drive with aggression. It is wild, and they'll lay on the horn, and they say you're trying to get in the lane in front of them and they're speeding up, and then you speed up and you get up in front of them and say you get in the lane in front of them, they'll lay on the horn and they'll just continue honking at you just because. I mean, it is Dale Earnhardt Sr. to the fullest down here, because I mean, Dale Earnhardt, this Alabama was Dale Earnhardt country for NASCAR, Talladega, and his spirit lives on with Alabama drivers, because it is wild how aggressive they are down here.
That's a nice way to call a bunch of rude drivers something way better. It's called like an honor. No, this sounds like they're just being a bunch of mean drivers. I never understand that. Don't be that rage road guy. Yeah, I don't ever, because that makes me anxious. Because if I start laying on the horn on this one guy, if I make him mad enough, he's going to brake check, and then I'm going to rear end him. I don't know who the insurance is going to believe on that one when we're both being, kind of grade A, what's. Like, just be nice. That is crazy. I really did not think Alabama would have a road rage problem.
The spirit of Dale Earnhardt Sr., it lives on. They might not, all those cars, they might not have the front plate tag anymore that says the Intimidator number 3, but in their minds and in their souls, the way they've been raised, it is the Intimidator. They're all intimidators down here. I mean, it's insane. Like I'm the kind of guy, I'll let a guy, somebody pull out in front of me and I'll be like, oh yeah, hop in, no big deal. If they're waiting, like the first time it really clued into me was there's an ambulance coming down the road.
They didn't let an ambulance in?
Oh no, they block you. So I was in the inside lane and the ambulance was coming through the inside lane. In Nebraska, when an ambulance comes through, everybody tries to pull off onto the side of the road, pull off, to make room for the ambulance to get through.
Yeah. And just come to a stop.
I was battling just to get a slot in. I had, basically had to, mean mug a car to let me in, to pull in because the ambulance was coming right at me. And I was like, it's not me. I'm not the one that's, I'm trying to get over here. And everybody was blocking me because, forbid that they get one car behind. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's unreal. That makes me angry. Like, you got people that selfish out there. You got an ambulance coming through and you're getting upset about the guy trying to get out of the way of the ambulance. Unreal. Unknown Texter 1000 says Arizona is the same way. Speed is the only way. Yeah, I've been there. Didn't see a ton of it, but I'll tell you what, it was a little bit of a nightmare. This one from David Froff or Froof. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that one right.
David Freoff.
See you here. Oh, David Freoff. Thank you. He just says Raff with a bunch of exclamation points. Happy to hear you back on the airwaves of 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com.
Yeah. Big David. Or actually, little David now. All the weight he's lost. Good Lord. Amazing. Just insane. He set his goals, and now he's at first it was he wanted to wear the Raff's Roadie t-shirt. He wanted to wear a 2XL Raff's Roadie t-shirt. Now he's probably needing an XL Raff's Roadie t-shirt. He's got so tiny.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, congratulations to him. That's a good deal. I might need to start going back to Farrell's. I was looking at some videos of like just 2 years ago because we're putting some piles together of the hoops post game, and it's like I'm not fat yet, but I was like, dang, I've gotten just out of shape. I could just tell I'm not in shape anymore. It took 2 years. They're not lying about when you hit 25. It's kind of over. You need to start really working out again if you want to maintain.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we've started going back to the gym again, and it was funny because we went to the gym a couple months ago, and I lifted, and I was like, "Ooh, I still have my dad strength." I was still pretty strong. I was pretty proud of myself. I put on 225 and threw it up, threw it down, a few times, and then we started going back last week, this week, and I have never been so sore. My arms are sore, my legs are sore. My strength is down. It's just like, wow, what happened to me? But that's what happens when you don't go to the gym for a long period of time. But we're getting back on it. And so before you know it, I'm just going to be a strong machine again.
Yeah, I had a hard reality check. And I'm sure everyone has these experiences, whether you got sisters or brothers. Obviously, when I went home for Christmas, my older brother, Houston, I don't know what he's doing, but he's getting really competitive in basketball and just like getting back in shape. And of course, me being the youngest, always consider myself the best. We went and played basketball, and I lost the first one pretty significantly, and I was so out of shape. It was absolutely devastating. So then the next day, I went all out, and I was able to catch him back to tie the series, but it was kind of like devastating to see how far I've lost a lot of that just being in shape in such a small amount of time. So for everyone who's on their New Year's resolutions, start early, not later, because it takes a while to get back into that. So I don't know how I got on that quick side tangent, but it's been just kind of recapping everything that's happened over the New Year's while we got a little bit of time here left on segment number 1. I know you got some college football stuff. The Damon Williams situation in college football is absolutely insane. We can put a pin on that for later, but I'll throw it back over to you on where you want to go next.
Oh no, we can go there. That just is wild to me. But on one hand, I kind of expected. I've expected it. Like, do you not expect stuff like this to happen? With the NCAA, with the players. Like I think that with the way he's setting now, yes, he signed the paperwork that says, he should, go back and play for Washington. But I think at the end of the day, I think he'll go to court, he'll sue, he'll win, and he'll end up at LSU.
There's no way he can win that one.
Well,
I would think you could be right. I'm just saying I have a hard time because let me double check right now. But unless I'm mistaken, like he put his pen in ink, right? That he did an extension already.
Yeah, but
if he signed the extension, how can he have the right to just go wherever the hell he wants? You signed a deal.
He's going to bring up head football coaches. He's going to be like, well, Lane Kiffin, he had a contract with Mississippi, but he left and went to LSU anytime he wanted. I mean, he's going to win. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't see how he loses. I mean, like you say, like you sign these contracts, but how can the NCAA, if he goes, well, I'll give back the money for the extension. And it's just like a coach leaving and saying, okay, well, he's leaving, but there's a buyout, So I think at the end of the day, he ends up playing for LSU.
Maybe. I don't know. If he gets his way out of this, we're in a really bad state of college football. If it isn't obvious for everyone else out there already, college football is not in a good spot with the way that.
Look at it this way: like spring ball is going to happen, and players that went to their schools, and they're going to be like, "Well, I want to go to the portal." They're like, "Well, no, there is no portal." They're going to sue. They're going to fight. They're going to find ways to get to the school that they want to be at, or where they think they're going to play. I mean, it's just the NCAA is such a disaster right now, and just everything, just because they're not. It's just. They're always going to be like we always talk about the grown-ups in the room. Well, the players are going to look back and be like, well, coaches leave anytime they want. There's no portal window for the coaches. Like Lane Kiffin left right after they found out they weren't going to be in the SEC championship game, and he left. And then you could have a coach today say, well, I'm leaving, and there's really nothing other than a buyout. There's nothing they can do. So I'm assuming what these teams are going to have to do is, put in buyout clauses to where, like, say Desmond Williams, for instance, if he signs his contract and then decides, well, I don't want to be here, then there's got to be some sort of buyout. There's got to be some sort of, type of, but it's wild. But hearing it, and I was listening, to the ticket earlier this morning and stuff like that, to like Bill and Sipple, and it's like I'm listening to it and I'm like, he's going to sue, and he's going to win, and he's going to end up at LSU when it's all said and done, because they're going to always fall back on, well, the coaches left, the coaches, there's no, at the end of the day, it's got to be fair, with the coaches, with anything. Like, I don't know. Like, even non-compete clauses in the world today that we live in. Like, not even sports. If you sign a non-compete clause, how many times do you see a person, leave their company with a non-compete clause and then find a loophole somewhere, and they're working in like the same thing at a different company?
I don't know. The part that maybe I get stuck on is like, he never officially even went to his school to put his name in the portal, did he? I think he was. I think that's where you're kind of screwed if you're him. Like, maybe if you were able to actually put your name out there, but I don't think he even put his name in the transfer portal. I do have let me just look it up real quick.
I think there was rumor that he was going to possibly, but I don't know if it officially. Yeah.
Okay. Williams, however, had not filed any paperwork with Washington compliance offices to have his name entered in the portal before making his announcement on social media. As of now, nothing still has been submitted.
Yeah. So I don't know how. Yeah, it's wild. It is the wild, wild west.
We do got a caller, Raff, if you want to take it.
Heck yeah.
It's a blind caller, so please, if you're calling in blind, turn down the radio while you got an opportunity now before we put you on, and don't swear. Just keep it civil on here. All right. Welcome in. You're on 93.7 The Ticket. Raff's good take on sports. Who do we got on the line?
Hey, guys. Good shows. Jason calling from Lincoln.
All right. Unfortunately, I don't think our phone line's working today. I did forget about that. So letdown. Sorry to whoever that was calling. That's on me. Our phone line was working before. Unfortunately, it's not working on our board right now. So hopefully we get that fixed for you guys sooner or later. Sorry for whoever's time I just wasted there. That was not intentional. I did want to get your opinion on air.
Say I could hear them, but I think the listeners are unable to hear them. I think that's the flaw that's going right now.
Oh, you could hear him, Raff?
Yeah, I heard him.
What?
Yep, Jason from Lincoln. Jason, thanks for calling. We appreciate you.
Oh, did I hang up on him in the middle?
Yep.
Oh man, now I feel really bad.
Hey, we lost another listener. Thanks, Harrison. Man. Nah, Jason, when we
can you just like transcribe what he's saying quickly?
Oh no, he's gone now. He just said he was Jason from Lincoln, and then he hung up, and then you said, "Whoop, we don't have the," and then he was gone.
Jason, if you call during the break, I'll talk to you then, and hopefully pass along whatever you want to talk about.
Or text it in.
True. You can text it in or call during the break, but we are up to a break right now. So we'll keep talking a little bit about the scandalous college football situation. This is Chris Raff. Well, I'm Harrison Arndt. That's Chris Raff. Raff's Good Take on Sports. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
There are so many realtors in Lincoln and Omaha, but don't get overwhelmed by all the no-names, plus all the different companies. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real Estate is your go-to option, whether buying or selling residential, luxury, leasing, investment properties, or commercial property, small or large. Ben's team offers decades of experience, unbeatable customer service, and promises to fully protect your interests throughout the entire transaction. Call 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Hog Wild has a delicious way for you to enjoy beef brisket. It's our open-faced hot beef sandwich. We start with our grilled Texas toast. Add a scoop of creamy mashed potatoes. Load them up with some tender Hog Wild beef brisket. And top it off with our tasty brown gravy. It's absolutely delicious. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Nutrition Authority invites you to check out the top-selling Epic Effects. Epic Effects is designed to help blast body fat, curb cravings, and provide smooth energy so you can cruise through the day. Home of free samples and better-than-internet pricing, Epic Effects can only be found in Nutrition Authority. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between, we'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to start strong, so you can give everything you've got. From plate-loaded strength equipment and functional training areas to treadmills, stair climbers, and free weights. Our equipment is best in class, and our clubs are right around the corner, so you can make this your strongest year yet. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, January 9th. You coming? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Mo's Moving is now Mo's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to MHC Moving.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Back to Raff's Good Take on Sports on 93.7 The Ticket. With all the good takes you need, here is your host, Chris Raff.
Welcome back in. Second segment, Raff's Good Take on Sports. Excuse me. Shout out to the people on the text line. Isaac, Terrell Farley, the black shirt Terrell Farley, letting us know that the phone lines, they can still hear them. Apparently, I'm the only one who can't. So, unfortunately, that is happening. Try to fix that sooner than later. On the bright side, did to talk to Jason over the break, and he's got a good point. You know, I've kind of hinted at this before with some of the conferences, but especially with the schools. I mean, the NCAA is not the only person to blame in this. You have some very greedy institutions, presidents, conferences, coaches. I mean, we have some in the college basketball world. You go look at that. There are certain schools that are recruiting these guys who already went to the league and didn't quite pan out. So now they hop out of the NBA and back to college. And if you're a man of moral integrity, I'd say don't recruit that kid. I think you kind of broke the rule now that you're doing that. And they're just kind of hoping to see how far they can bend the rules on some of these guys. And the NCAA is not the only one to blame in this, is essentially his point. And he's absolutely right. I mean, a lot of these institutions have gotten greedy. These conferences have gotten greedy. And you're seeing even just some coaches, individuals, do some things under the table.
Well, and boosters. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, if you've got, like, it's been shown, you know, if you've got the money, you've got the means, you know, you can hire the best lawyers, you can find the loopholes. I mean, the rules that are being adjusted and changed, I mean, it's classic, but you look at it and you're just like, wow, this is crazy that it's got to be. But me and AD talked about this, you know, this has been like 3 years ago. And we'd always say that once the toothpaste is out of the tube, it's hard to put that toothpaste back in again. So it's like now people are talking about, well, we need regulations and we need this and we need that. Well, it's like, it's hard, you know, when you've already let the monster out of the bag, it's hard to put it back in again. Like, you've got these players that are making, I heard like $6 million, $7 million, just crazy money, you know, to play quarterback in the NCAA. Well, do you really think now that you're going to be able to go back to them and say, okay, well, we're going to do something different and we're going to pay you guys $60,000 a year instead of $7 million? I mean, it'll be just like, you know, SMU back in the 80s, where there'll be, you know, the bags of money will be coming out, you know, under the table again, and it'll be, you know, back to the. So I don't think it's ever going to change. I'm not sure if you're able to put a salary cap, you know, into college sports. If that's, I think eventually, I think that, I hate to say the magic word, but I think the government will have to step in eventually, and they're going to have to find, there'll probably have to be some sort of collective bargaining agreement. So can you think about this for a second? The first college football strike.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
I mean, is it just crazy that it's, but I think about that all the time now. I'm like, say what you want about collegiate sports, but for the most part, it is professional. It's almost like a professional minor league now, not even really a minor league, because you've got players like, I saw that Shadur Sanders signed a 4-year, $4.997 million contract. And then you got quarterbacks that are making, $6 million, $5 million, $4 million a year. I mean, it's something that has to give eventually. I mean, there's just no way that you can continue, with no collective bargaining agreement. Eventually the government will have to step in, I would think, at some point. But
it's probably going to have to be the government, which we should all feel good, because as we know, the government's gotten it right 100% of the time, and every year and it doesn't matter which party. So I think that's the only way, unfortunately, but we'll see how well they do in sorting that one out. The NCAA is kind of screwed. I don't think they have enough power.
It'll be like the COVID year all over again. Like if they decide that, then you're gonna have, well, do we grandfather clause in this player because they've already signed their extension? It's going to be. I mean, it already is a kind of a mess. But I've just
horrible mess right now. We have 13 Oregon players in the portal. Med even got up to 14. They're in the semifinals.
Yeah.
They're not even finished the season. And if their team wins, they're still going to get a championship ring.
Well, here's the deal too, that they've talked about, like Keona Davis, for instance. He's back in the portal for his second time, and everybody's like, well, if it's his second time, he probably doesn't want to be at Nebraska. But I'm thinking about it like this: if you're a player, and you're wanting to make money, like I would think if I was a player, I'd probably, if I had the opportunity to make money, I'd want to find out what I was worth. So why would you not take a chance and bet on yourself and go out into the portal, even if there's a chance you might come back to Nebraska? I mean, sometimes you don't have that. You might not have that to where the coach says, hey, we don't want you here, move on. But we've seen it once with Keona where he put himself in the portal and he was able to come back. So if you got that where you could return back to Nebraska, why wouldn't you go to the portal and just go out and see, are you able to get more money? I mean, it's kind of like the world we live in. Everybody's always trying to make more money. So I guess when people go into the portal, sometimes I'm like, well, unless they were told by the coaching staff and by the powers that be that, hey, we don't want you back again next year. But if you're told like, hey, yeah, we really want you back, but if you want to go out and check the portal, I mean, that's the way it just reminds. It's almost like, being a free agent in the NFL. Like, well, there's a chance they could go back and sign again with the Chiefs, or they could go sign a free agent contract somewhere else. So it's a wild time. I never thought that it would ever get to this. I really did not. But now that we're here, now I just tend to just sit back and just say, okay, I'm just going to enjoy the game and, not just get caught up in all everything that goes on behind it, because it is a wild time. I mean, these colleges, I mean, with the gigantic boosters, your $1 billion boosters and stuff like that, which to me is crazy. And my own thinking that people are going to want to spend that much money just to see their college win a national championship. That's, for me, I just think it's wild. But now you got these,
but you got more money into it, because I forgot this. This is how crazy it's gotten. This one totally got brought up, mentioned, and totally forgotten about. The UC pension that's out in California. I can't remember exactly what they're called, so I had to look it up. But it's the University of California UC Investments, and they are essentially made a deal with the Big Ten to fund proposed investing $2.4 million for a 10% stake. And we're just going to see that more and more and more. I mean, these places are going to throw down billions of dollars to get a slice of that sweet, sweet conference. Yeah. Who do you think's running the show? The NCAA or the Big Ten or the SEC, when the Big Ten just got $2.4 million for 10%? And you look at those schools like he says UNL is the $130 million tier. I'm not sure what all the tiers are. I'd have to go back and look. That doesn't surprise me though. But I mean, it's getting to absurd levels of money. And I don't know if it's sustainable to have a league that is completely operated for money and directed by money. Like, it's getting a little bit gross feeling. You got to put some barricades in the way. You can have money in there, but you got to have some rule and formality around it, because again, we're just throwing another $2.4 billion into it for 10%. And there's still not a lot of regulations when you obviously are in need of some major changes here soon.
Yeah. And then, I mean, too, we don't even talk about this anymore, but how about all the players that get stuck in the portal?
A lot.
I mean, that's another thing. I mean, like, you're having all these players that are being told, like, hey, you're worth a lot more money going elsewhere. And then they put themselves in the portal, and then they end up, either not getting pulled out of the portal, or they don't make the money that they made at the original school they were at. I mean, it's crazy. And then at the end of the day, I keep on saying to myself over and over again, and I know this is kind of a farce now. I know some people will probably get mad at me, but back in the day, it was like, you're going to college to get a college education. And I don't even think the word college education really, does it even come up anymore with these guys that are, going to the portal every single year. I mean, I give credit, to the Dennis LeBlancs and the Keith Simmers of the world that are continually getting these athletes to graduate, because anymore it's like, it's not so much about the graduation. It's just about how much money you can make.
Yeah. Well, to your point, I think this could be a little bit of a fluky of a number, but I think that number is anywhere between like 25 to 40% of guys don't find another home in Division I.
Yeah.
You have like over 30% of the players hitting the portal.
Yeah.
Wait, how is that sustainable? You got just a little less than 1/3 of your entire league finding a new roster. And it's not like the NFL where it's a new team. It's like, no, these guys are going to school. And that's what's crazy about it. And that's what's frustrating is,
just think how many
money's sweet. It's crazy what we're doing.
Just think how many guys that went in the portal and sacrificed a free college education. That's what I would like to see, is how many of those guys had full ride scholarships and gave it up to hit the portal and then never got pulled out of the portal. But then you're
get a degree either.
But then all we've been told, growing up or through the years is, hey, the college education, that is the most important thing, is, getting your degree. And, and then these guys are basically sacrificing a free degree or free education to try and get that money, or to get that, AKA the bag. And then they get left in what Jay Foreman calls the vortex. I mean, it's crazy to me, but like I said, at the end of the day, it's the adults at the table. It's the boosters. It's the people, it's the money. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about the money, and can never tell me differently that is all it's about now. It's just straight cash, homie, in the words of Randy Moss.
I really never want to hear student athlete anymore by some of these certain individuals. Like, don't tell me that's true, because I see the way you guys operate. Just call it amateur pros or something like that, because it's clearly, you can't, I use it all the time, but when you have a guy that can go through 5 universities and not end up with a degree, you failed that person. Yeah, you might have given him some money, but I don't know what skills you really gave him outside of his sport, especially if he doesn't get drafted. You really messed up whatever he could have had later down the road, or at least you made that journey a lot harder.
Well, I wondered, like, too, it's like, so you have these guys that hit the portal every single year. And then you have universities, they have, I assume they have like their core curriculum classes. I mean, how do you like move your major? Do you have to go and take, new classes, or I guess they apply it from what you've taken at other schools. But I always remember back in the day, like, if you transferred schools, it's like, well, now I have to take 30 more hours because the University of Nebraska has different curriculum than, the University of Northwestern, or, so it's just
what happened to me at SEC. I went to SEC and I thought I'd still be okay. And, just going to Lincoln, there was some stuff that I was taking like some advanced and then some, peewee classes for journalism. So like it sucks a lot. I was even set it up with my manager, or not my managers. what do you call those people that help you sign up for your classes? I advise
counselors, advisors.
Jeez. And even them, they're trying to figure it out, and that's me actively trying to work with them, and there's still going to be shortcomings. Five schools, what does that look like? That's going to be insane.
So, like, also too is like, when is the last time that they can go to school? Like, for instance, the portal's open right now, and I believe the University of Nebraska, what do they call it, semesters, or second semester starts on January 12th, I believe. So, when is the last date that they can enroll at the university? Is there a time? I mean, can they come in February and be like, okay, I'm enrolling in it? I guess they can, but it's just like, it's wild, I back in the day, if just being a normal student or whatever walked in and said, yeah, I'm going to start my semester in February, they would look at me and be like, yeah, that's not happening. But I guess they're finding ways to, with professors and stuff like that, to where they can enroll in classes, in February, or because, yeah, it's wild. It's all about the Benjamins.
It's unfortunate. It's all about the Benjamins. It's all about sports gambling, FanDuel, MGM, by DraftKings, all these. I'm tired of it. I'm going to watch it, and that's the worst part. And again, I don't want to defend the NCAA too much, because I think they definitely were greedy, and I think they definitely got a lot of money off of it when they were just slurping up all of the excessive amount of money. But the one thing that I think they might have been right about was, listen, this is going to be an absolute mess if we open this thing up. Now, they didn't make it any easier by dragging their feet, but I think they maybe saw some things that needed to be put in place if they were ever going to go down that route. The issue was they never intended to. So they never put anything in place. And then California just sued. And like you said, toothpaste is out of the bottle now. It's a mess.
So this is one thing I've thought about too. If they would have said, like, okay, as a freshman, you get, 12,000 a year, or sophomore, 24,000. And as the years go by, the increments raised. I think at the end of the day, they would have saved money. And I think the college players probably would have, if they'd been told, yeah, you have a chance to make 24,000 a year or 36,000 a year. I think the college athlete probably would have said, hey, we're great with that. But instead they just went complete, no salary cap, no nothing, no anything. And now it's like, I don't think you can ever go back. I just don't know how you're going to be able to tell these. So you're able to pay us, $5 million, and it's, I know it's not every single player, but there's probably the top 5% of college players are making probably, I would think, over $1 million, maybe more than that now. And it's like, how can you go back and tell them now that, well, now we're only going to pay you like, 50,000 or 60,000, when they know that the money's there. I mean, if it's been sustained so far, and you really don't see an end in sight. So I just don't know how you're going to be able to go to these players now, which I'm now, once again, we talked strike, what's next? The College Players Union.
Yeah. I can see a lot of stuff, because for how, crazy it's gotten, nothing would really surprise me anymore. Let's get to this one before we go to break. Because this is one of the positives, right? Shout out to Ron. He says, Rank Mass got a bachelor's degree in physics from Bradley, which is crazy because I think he was only there for 3 years. Maybe it was, but that's pretty good. Bachelor's degree in 3, and is working on a master's in applied science. The smart ones take advantage. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yep. Unfortunately, there's a lot of agents, they just want the money. They're not telling you to go to this university, look for these resources. Here's another step. Some great coaches, they'll be there to kind of help these kids and tell them, listen, you should really take advantage of it. Some of these, we just know they don't. They don't care about the kids' education. They just care about the kids' talent on the field. And that's the stuff you worry about. You worry about the agents who tell kids to go to the next school, not because the agent thinks they'll do better there, but because the agent knows he'll get, 13% of the cut of wherever he signs. Those are the scary parts. But shout out to the people who are smart about it.
Yeah. And there's one thing too that I know about the university is, for Keith Zimmer and Dennis LeBlanc, they're still 140%, trying to get every student athlete graduated and academically sound. I mean, I know just their mission has not changed. I know the money has changed and the portal and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, they're still doing their job, to the best or above, that anybody in the country. I mean, you're not going to find two better people to lead academics for, the athletic department. But but I think about these other schools, and I don't see how it happens. I mean, look back at the quarterback for Georgia. Oh, I'm forgetting his name.
How far back?
Went to the Rams, won two national championships. He was in school for like 6 years, 7 years, or whatever. He went to Stetson Bennett.
Oh, Stetson Bennett. Okay, good pull.
So he was like in school for like 6 or 7 years, and I never even got an undergraduate. Even I can be like, hey, I went to school forever and got an undergraduate, and and it's just stuff like that it's just crazy. It's like you would think in 7 years you could get an undergraduate. I proved it right, and I even slammed on the brakes for a while just because I didn't want to graduate college. But yeah,
I call that a victory lap, I believe, right?
Yep, Van Wilder.
Well, that being said, don't go anywhere. I think we can only talk about and circle so much more about this topic right here. Raff's Good Take on Sports. We always manage to find a little bit of negative. We'll get back to the positive on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their Contact Us page, and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966.
An emergency can happen any moment. Here's a few seconds to think about where you'd go. At CHI Health, we stand ready to care for any emergency. Our specialists provide expert care when you need it most and believe healing is more powerful when delivered with human kindness. When seconds matter, know CHI Health St. Elizabeth is accredited in stroke care and offers the region's only ER just for kids. Learn more at chihealth.com/St. Elizabeth Emergency.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
Tomorrow is about the lessons we learn today. A farmer's market teaches us that community is grown together. Kids laughing shows us how joy is easy. And coffee on the porch reminds us to savor every moment. These are the lessons that shape a tomorrow we all share. One filled with trust, good company, and wide open dreams. That's the way banking should be. And that's Pinnacle Bank. Member FDIC.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Madsen's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Back to Raff's Good Take on Sports on 93.7 The Ticket. With all the good takes you need, here is your host, Chris Raff.
Welcome back in. Raff's Good Take on Sports 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. We got Chris Raff for just a few more minutes. Chris Raff, what is your good take for January 7th, 2026?
All right, everybody. Today's Raff's Good Take goes out to one of the best people I know, Pete Ferguson. Pete, just an amazing person. You hear about all the negatives in the world today. You're probably hard-pressed to find anything positive in the news. But I'll tell you what, Pete's one of those guys. He is always there for the youth of Lincoln, the youth anywhere. He's, getting ready for the Martin Luther King youth rally. He's been an integral part of that for several years. He's always with the scholars, the equity cadres, always trying to make the world a better place. He realizes that, it's the youth, you've got to install, greatness into them. And Pete is the perfect person for that. Just the show that he does, just amazing. Having the scholars on there every week. Just one of the best people. So Pete, thank you for everything you do. Your Raff's Good Take.
Right. Sentence number one. I don't know if you're telling the truth or not. Are you sure he's a great guy? No, I'm just kidding. Pete Ferguson's awesome. I obviously work with him every Sunday. I will agree with you. He is the Cowboys fan. That is the one strike against him. But I think that's the only strike against him that I could find was the Cowboys gear. But no, he's great. I say it all the time. On Sunday, what he's able to do to the community. It's a nice little fun story to tell every time we get to the end of the year. I always tell it. I was not so sure with DP about this one. I was like, what do you mean we're going to bring in like a bunch of elementary kids and random high schoolers once a week on Sunday and just hope they say the right things and don't make a fool of us? And I've been pretty blown away. Pete obviously does a great job finding those young scholars who knows are going to represent the city of Lincoln well or their community wherever they come from well. And also, I mean, it gives you some hope for the next generation. Like to your point, Raff, you hear negativity. These kids today, wah. Not like every generation doesn't have their problems. But then you go see these kids and it's like, okay, yeah, they have different problems than obviously your generation faced and even my generation faced, but they're acutely aware of it. Just the same way I was aware of the future problems I was going to be looking at, the same way your generation was aware of the current problems it had. Every generation figures out ways around the unique problems that surround them. And that's what I always like about it. Like, yeah, they seem like they got a lot of things they're going to have to watch out for, but they're all pretty acutely aware of it. So we can all take a deep breath and listen to the show. If you don't believe me, you'll be really impressed by those young scholars. So that is a great, good take. So much so that I had to double down on it. Chris Raff, I'll let you have the final words here. You can go ahead, get us out of here. It is your show on 93.7 The Ticket after all.
All right, everyone. Have a great rest of your night and be nice to each other.